Hey everybody, Cranky Gun Reviews here. I want to do a little video on different types of ammo that I've been able to find during the shortage. Some things that are a little bit different than what I would typically buy, primarily in 9mm. Again, I'm not going to be the guy to go around telling you not to buy ammo in this shortage. In my opinion, maybe people going out and panic buying are causing the shortage to continue longer than normal, and supply and demand, the costs are going up. However, again, I'm the kind of guy that says if you have money and you want to buy ammo and you want to stock up a little bit, there's nothing stopping you. Again, if you want to overpay for your ammo, then that's kind of your own fault. If you're going to pay $50, $55 for a box of 9mm, or I've seen 38 Special go for $65, $70 a box. 380 ACP, the only stuff that I've found online was around $48 a box, and that was actually on a cheap website. But I've been able to buy enough to keep myself shooting throughout this pandemic by doing smart shopping. Now, again, a lot of people complain about Cheaper Than Dirt and some of those other online sites being really terrible scalping ammo prices. I don't pay a buck around for anything except maybe $4.50 Bushmaster, something like that, stuff that's normally expensive anyway. But when it comes to 9mm, any of those other calibers, 45 ACP, I haven't bought since the pandemic started because I refuse to pay $50 for a box of 45 ACP steel case or something like that. But 9mm in particular, 223, 556, 762 by 39 hasn't really gone up much. You can still buy a box of 20 for around $8, which is about the cost it was before the pandemic started. And a lot of that's because a lot of the suppliers that you see for, 762 39, 762 54R, and some of those others, they're going to be making steel case ammo anyway. So they're still making it in bulk. You got, Tula, Wolf, and some of those other companies in Russia. And then you got some other companies that are making 9mm that I've never seen before. I picked up some Bellum. It's not Cellular and Bellet, it's Bellum, B-E-L-L-O-M. Company that I've never seen before. I think they're out of Serbia. And then, some other different brands and some other different weights even of bullets. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I've been able to pick up during the pandemic for reasonable prices. I mean, yeah, the days of $9 and $10 a box for 50 rounds of 9mm are gone for now, but I've been able to find it pretty much consistently throughout the pandemic. If you pay attention to the websites and you're in a jurisdiction where they can ship it to you, you can usually find a box of 50 rounds for about $28 to $30, which is still, it's 3 times what it was, a year and a half ago, but it's still not as bad as a lot of the sites that are charging $50, $55 a box for the same stuff that I've been buying. So let me go ahead and show you what I've been able to buy. So this is one of the brands I was talking about. I've never heard of these before. Bellum 9x19, 124 grain full metal jacket. I've never shot 124 grain before. I'm hoping it works in all my firearms, but I'm guaranteed that it'll work in some of them, if not all of them. This stuff, $27.50 for 50 rounds. I think I bought 500 rounds of this stuff. This Remington 9mm 115 grain range ammo. This I picked up about 300 rounds of it a couple of weeks ago. Again, $27.50 for 50 rounds. Not cheap, but it's not a buck a round. It's not a $1.10 a round or a $1.05 a round. It's actually still reasonable. Blazer 147 grain full metal jacket 9mm. Again, picked this stuff up, $27.50 a box. I think I bought 300 rounds of this stuff. So there is still ammo out there. I've also been able to find some Federal 124 grain 9mm as well. I mean, I've been shooting throughout the pandemic. I've only been going out maybe once a month instead of every other week or every week like I was last year before all this stuff started. But I have still been able to restock myself fairly well. Again, if you have the money to do it, I'm not going to balk at people who want to go out and shoot and restock themselves. It's just going to cost you a lot more money. And yeah, it may prolong restocking the stores a little bit longer. I have seen a lot more ammo in the last couple of weeks coming up online. A lot more shops have been having ammo. A lot more shops have been keeping ammo longer. I've seen 250 round range packs of cellular and pellet 9mm 115 grain going for about $125 or $137 for 250 rounds. Still, it's not a terrible price. I mean, it's quite a bit more than it was a couple of years ago, but it's not a terrible price in these times. So again, depending on where you're buying it from, there are places online that you can find ammo. You have to basically sit at your computer and refresh the screen all day long. But for those of you that can't get into a shop every day and check, or can't go to Cabela's or some other big box store every day to check, you have to know where to look. And if you're diligent, you can find good deals. This is another brand of 9mm that I recently found. It is Venom brand. It's made in Turkey. And again, same price, around $27.50 for a box of 50. Here's some more that I've been able to score. Wolf M855, green tip, and these are actually brass case. They're not cheap steel case. $13.79 for 20 rounds. I picked up a few hundred rounds of that. Your regular Winchester 5.56 M193, 150 round box. This was $100 or $103. So again, not great pricing, but you're still able to find stuff if you know where to look and if you're willing to pay for it. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of people that yell at me and say, well, you're making it harder for the little guy to be able to buy ammo. Well, when it comes down to it, again, I've talked about this. If I go to the range and shoot, and you've seen my shooting videos, if I shoot, I'm going to buy a little bit more than I shot to be able to keep myself stocked up in case I need some. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. I didn't go out and buy a pallet of this stuff. I didn't buy 10,000 rounds or 5,000 rounds. I bought one pack, $103 when I had the money in my pocket. This stuff, I bought a couple hundred rounds of it only because I had the money in my pocket and it just happened to show up on time. I didn't buy a whole pallet of this. I didn't buy 1,000 rounds or 5,000 rounds. I only bought a couple hundred rounds. So I'm still being wise in my purchases. I'm not going to bankrupt myself, but I am going to make sure that I have enough ammo to keep myself going, at least being able to do a couple of magazines every time I go out to the range. And I used to go out and shoot 350 rounds of 9mm in an afternoon. Now I might go out and shoot 50 rounds. I might shoot one box instead of a whole bunch because it's that much more expensive than it used to be. So be smart in what you do. You can still find some halfway decent deals out there. Don't max out your credit card to buy ammo. And if you're in a store and you see some on the shelf and there's no limit, leave a couple of boxes for somebody else at least so that the next guy behind you can get some too. So that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching another edition of Cranky Gun Reviews. Make sure you're courteous to your fellow man. Make sure you're safe. Go out there, have some fun, do some shooting, support your 2A rights. God bless America, and have a great night.